All right, let's get started. Thank you so much for joining us this morning for our Flex Forward retailer training. We are excited to have you joining us both this morning for this training and in the program. My name is Melissa Bauer, and I'm the Director of Sustainability at the Pet Sustainability Coalition. And just excited to have you here this morning. Just a quick bit of background on the Pet Sustainability Coalition. We are a nonprofit industry association working in the pet industry. We work with over 160 companies from all over the pet industry and all over the world in the supply chain, everybody from retailers to brands to distributors, manufacturers, and everybody in between. And we help those members work and improve on their individual sustainability journey, whatever that means to them, but also try and bring the industry together to solve problems that are bigger than just one sector or one company to work on. And that's what brings us to Flex Forward. So today we're going to talk about the fundamental problem that led to the development and launch of the Flex Forward program. We're going to do an overview of the program. We're going to talk about the specific participating retailer benefits and resources available to you. And then we're going to leave plenty of time at the end for questions and answers. We are so grateful to all of our participating retailers in this program. We absolutely could not be doing this without you. And so we want you to feel supported every step of the journey, that you have everything that you need. We're here to answer your questions, to provide you resources, and to make this as successful for you and your consumers as possible. So if you have any questions, please feel free to jump in and ask. You've got a chat feature, or I invite you to come off mute and ask a question at any time. So what is the fundamental problem that led to Flex Forward? So here in North America, 99% of current pet food and treat bags are not recyclable, which adds up to a significant problem. We released a study in 2019 here at PSC that showed that 3 million pounds of plastic pet food and treat packaging are going to the landfill each year, and that's just in North America, which is a huge problem. And so Flex Forward is one of several solutions that PSC is working towards with the industry to try and help tackle this problem. One of the questions that I get asked the most about this program is, why hasn't this happened before, and why can't we launch it everywhere? You know, I think everybody participating in the program knows that this is a pilot with a limited number of eligible retailers, but why aren't we, just launching it everywhere? Why can't, every retailer in the US participate right now? And to answer that question, we have to rewind a few steps and just talk about why this happened before. And that is, here in the pet industry, we ask our pet packaging to do things that not really packaging in any other sector is really asked to do. Not only do we have 40-pound bags of pet food, where we're asking bags to safely and securely transport and hold 40 pounds worth of material, but it also needs to be able to be printed on beautifully for our brands. It needs to maintain the quality of our pet food over a period of time, and make sure that pet food is staying fresh. And we just ask our packaging in the pet industry to do things that no other industry is really asking their bags to do. So realistically, the way that the industry has solved this problem is by using several different layers of packaging glued together with an adhesive. So your average pet food or treat bag has up to 7 different layers of different kinds of plastic that are put together and adhere together. So in the recycling process, you'd have to separate all of those 7 different layers, which is sometimes not even possible, but when it is possible, it's a very expensive undertaking. And something to remember is that recyclers here in North America and worldwide are not recycling out of the goodness of their heart, right? This is a business, and as a business, the process needs to become commercially viable. So they need to be able to sell the end product of that recycling process. And because this is such a difficult, complicated, and expensive process, unfortunately, it costs more to separate these layers and to turn them into a commercially viable process than those recyclers are then able to sell that product for. So this is kind of the fundamental problem with packaging in the pet industry, which is why we don't have an easy solution. This is why this kind of solution hasn't happened yet. So something really important to emphasize with the Flex Forward pilot program is that this is a pilot program. We're learning along the way, which is really, really exciting to have our retail partners, but also our distribution partners and brand partners as well. And just to give you some of the solutions possible that might happen that other industries have worked on. For example, the carton industry, your carton of milk, or we have almond milk in our house. That is a cardboard box, but it's lined with a plastic to maintain quality. And the carton industry, just like the pet industry several years ago, went through this problem of we have all of these cartons on the market. What are we going to do with them? How do we make them more recyclable? And the solution that the carton industry came up with is that we are all going to come together as an industry and decide that we are all going to make our cartons out of the exact same thing in the exact same structure. So then, because recyclers didn't have to try and figure out which each carton was made of, that brought the recycling process down significantly in cost, which then made it commercially viable, which is now why these cartons are recyclable in a way that they weren't just a couple years ago. Another example is your plastic bags that you get at your grocery store. We've all seen the tubs that you can bring these back to your local Mega Mart or your grocery store. And the reason that is possible is because these bags are all made out of one kind of plastic. So that's another solution that might be possible, is influencing the pet industry, that if our bags are have 3 or 4 or 5 up to 7 layers, that's fine. But if all of those layers are made out of the same things, then we don't have to separate them, which once again brings the cost of the recycling significantly down. The third thing that we might figure out is, maybe we do this at scale. Nobody has ever attempted a project like this before. So maybe if we bring the whole industry together and we're not trying to figure this out on a brand by brand basis, we just get to market viability simply by scale. We've got enough product coming in that we can simplify the process and once again make it commercially viable as well. So there's all kinds of things to be learning as part of this pilot. So we're going to be collecting a lot of data along the way, and we're going to be being as transparent to all of our audiences, whether that's you or participating retailers, who once again we couldn't be doing this program without, to the industry at large. We're going to be collecting lots and lots of data along the way. So some of the things that we're going to be measuring are consumer participation. We built this model around hoping that pet parents would bring this packaging back to retailers in the same way that your average consumer is bringing your plastic bags back to your Mega Mart and grocery stores. But we're not sure. You don't know until you try it. So we're going to be measuring consumer participation. What is the rate that pet parents are actually bringing the bags back? What is the retailer participation? We hope to make this process as smooth for you as possible and as easy for you as possible. There's a way to bring your consumers back into the store, but our retailers excited about it. How does that look? What is the collection logistics? How does this work for our distribution partner? What hurdles do we find along the way? What is the recycling success? Once we get all of these bags together and we give them to the recycler, are we actually able to recycle these materials? We've done 2 pilots that both went well, but once again, you don't know what you know until you know it at scale. And then what is the environmental impact comparison? So we are gathering data along the way. We think, and logic suggests that there is a considerable environmental benefit to all of these bags not going into the landfill. But once again, we will be collecting that data just to make sure. So now that we know kind of the why and the background, let's talk about how this program is actually going to work. So this is a four-way kind of representation of how the Flex Forward pilot is going to work. First, working directly with pet retailers. And once again, thank you so much. If you're on this call, you are a participating retailer. So thank you so much for opting into the program. So we are going to be supporting you on every way to make sure that you have everything that you need to free of charge be collecting these bags. We are also working then those bags will go to the distributor. So we're once again really grateful for the industry leadership that Pet Food Experts has been showing through this program and partnering with PSC to figure out the logistics of that program. So Pet Food Experts will be picking up the collected packaging, storing it in their warehouse, and doing live calculations on the collected materials to help us in that data collection process. Because a really exciting thing about this program is because the packaging is being collected in a reverse logistics system by our distributor as part of the regular delivery drop-off process, there's no extra carbon associated with it. So we're not having to worry about, you know, any greenhouse gases released through the collection, because these are routes the trucks are taking anyway, which is really exciting. Then when we get to our program goal and we've collected the amount of pounds that we need to collect to do a commercially viable recycling pilot, all of that collected packaging that's been stored at the PFX warehouse will then be shipped to the recycler, who's going to be collecting the materials and then running the recycling pilots, which will result in little bitty pellets that we are working with several brands to see what can we turn these pellets into. We've already successfully piloted turning these bags into frisbees and beds, which is really exciting, but working with several different brands to see what can we turn these into. For the sake of the pilot, those materials are going to be donated to local shelters in the collection area. So all of these materials and anything we're able to get through this pilot will end up back in the Pacific Northwest being donated to animal shelters. But one of the things that we will be looking at in order to make this program commercially viable is then, can we sell those pellets to the brands who then turn them into things that can then be sold back to the pet parents? And that can hopefully close the commercial viability loop. So this process is going to go on until we hit the initial program pilot goal of 5,000 pounds collected. Then we will stop collection and then work and move towards the recycling pilot phase of this program and hopefully being able to greatly expand this impact. So who can participate? Independent retailers that are directly served by Pet Food Experts in the Pacific Northwest region are eligible to participate. So this is anyone, any retailer that is directly served by Pet Food Experts trucks, not through third-party delivery, excuse me, in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho are going to be eligible. And then which brands we're taking back packaging from any brands. So Earth Animal is the very generous program sponsor of this program and is paying for this entire pilot, and we're so grateful to them. And they are launching this at scale. So we're not just taking back Earth Animal bags, we're taking about bags from any brand. And we are also providing resources to those brands to reach out directly to their consumers in the market and let them know that these are the retailers accepting packaging and encouraging them to bring those bags back to those participating retailers. So specifically what kinds of bags? Any type of flexible bag and pouches used for pet products. So this is going to be cat food, and dog treats. We've gotten some questions about whether or not cat litter is accepted. Most cat litter bags actually have paper layers in them, and but it's not really obvious from the consumer point of view which one of those bags do contain paper, which all those bags don't. So right now, not leaving that research up to the consumer. So we're taking any type of flexible plastic bag. So that think cat food, dog food, and treats. We're also going to be taking raw food packaging, but we're going to have to strongly encourage our pet parents to be rinsed of that packaging first. Not like a thorough scrubbing or anything, but just kind of a basic rinse, because these materials are going to be sitting in the warehouse in Washington at Pet Food Experts' warehouse for probably a couple of months. We just want to anticipate any kind of pest program And so we're going to ask our pet parents to wash those instead. And once again, any bags from any brand. So this is completely brand agnostic. So how does this actually work? So retailers will be collecting packages for recycled and labeling the bags with the store information for pickup. We're going to talk about that more in just 1 second. Your drivers are going to drive these bags during your regularly scheduled drop-off and transport those to Fife, Washington. So your regular drivers have been through extensive training on this program, and they know, and it is going to be part of their process moving forward, that when they are there to make your regular delivery, that they are going to ask, do you have any bags you want us to collect? If they don't ask you, or you're more than entitled to say, hey, we've got this bag that's ready to go, and they're going to be trained and know what to do with that. Once those bags get back to the warehouse in Fife, the store and the teams there are going to be recording the weight by store and then compacting the bags as needed. So the vessel liners, so the plastic bags, the trash bags that go in your liners, are actually made of 100% recyclable material. So there's no need to worry about those bags going to the landfill. They're going to be compacted right along with the pet food packaging and be part of the recycling process as well. Then the compacted bags, once we hit that 5,000 pounds, are going to be shipped to the recycler in one bulk delivery when we get to that level. So how does that work for you? So the most important thing to emphasize is that the collection bags must be labeled with your store PFX number. So on the right, this is a picture of stickers that you will get with your activation kit. Those started showing up to opted-in retailers today, August 3rd, but whenever you get your activation kit, you'll see that you have these stickers that go right on the trash bag, and they give you spot to label the store number. This is because, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing tracking on the collection logistics to see how much pounds come from which retailers, so that we can do that data collection around what is retailer participation, what is consumer participation, how long does it take to collect a bag of these things of that nature. But we can't know that unless we know where these bags are coming from. So that's why you have these stickers. You also can just write on the trash bag with a Sharpie your store name number if you want, but you do have these stickers that are coming to you as part of your activation kit. You also can reorder as many of these stickers as you need. So we have plenty. If you run out, we've got plenty of those for you. The drivers are trained to ask, to look at the bag, and if there isn't a store number on there, to ask you. But we just ask that we don't, put too much of a burden on our drivers if we don't have to. So please just make sure that you're putting that sticker with your store number on there. If you don't know your PFX store number, your driver can tell you. So there's no problem if you don't know that. As I mentioned, the stickers are available for reorder. So if you run out, we can get you more. And if, once again, if you're worried about, employee training, and, what if there's somebody in the store and they don't know that they're supposed to have this sticker on, the drivers are, as a backup, trained to ask. So we do have a fail-safe for you, but really important. This is not only for data collection, but for retail incentives as well. We're going to be talking about it in just a minute, but we want to sincerely thank you guys for helping us in this pilot. And so we're building up an incentive program to help you do that as well. But we got to know who's collecting what for that incentive program. So what do you as a retailer actually get? So you are going to be getting, if you haven't already, what we call an activation kit. This is a picture of the vessel. It's 15 inches by 15 inches by 42 inches. It's beautiful. It's very easy to put together. It has a lot of instructions and details about the program printed directly on it. These are also really, really sturdy and made up of 100% post recycled content. So all of these boxes are already made of recycled content. So you're going to be getting this along with a myriad of other resources. You're also going to be, in addition to getting physical resources, you're going to be getting digital assets, and we'll walk you through that in just a minute. Employee onboarding. So thank you for joining us for the training this morning. You were recording this, and this is going to be available to you as part of your digital asset kit. But if you want a recording, if you want extra details, I'm happy to provide that to you as well. We're going to be having some incentives and recognition. So in your activation kit, you've got bounce backs, but we're also talking about some really, really exciting incentives for the program for our participating retailers. We've also worked with PFX to make this as easy for you as possible. So the Flex Forward SKUs, which we'll talk about and we'll get into in just a minute, are already part of your PFX regular ordering. That system has already been built and is ready to go, so that you can just place an order right for anything in this program right in your regular system, and it'll just come right in your regular delivery. And as I mentioned at the start of this presentation, we want you guys to really feel as supported as possible. So PSSC staff is here and available to help you along the way if you have any questions, if your employees have any questions, if your consumers have any questions, if you're having any problems, we're here to help and answer your questions and ensure that you have everything you need at every step of the way. And there's a special dedicated email address just that so you can get in contact with us at any time. So this is the actual breakdown of your activation kit and your digital asset kit and some other information. So in your activation kit, it comes in one big cardboard box that will come, as I mentioned, in your regular delivery. Those started showing up today, but they will come in your regular delivery schedule. You're going to get the collection vessel. You get 8.5 by 11 easel back signs to put anywhere in your store to promote that you're a participating retailer in this program. We also have aisle interrupter signs. We have those vessel liners for the collection vessel and stickers, as I mentioned, so that you can put your PFX store number on there. We have 100 bounce backs, so you can be putting cards directly in as your consumers are buying pet food and treats. We've got bounce backs you can be putting in their bag to let them know, hey, please bring this bag back when you're done with it, and also a sell sheet. You also have access to a digital asset kit, and this has been built specifically for our participating retailers on the Flex Forward program that is ready to go at this moment. So we have in there a copy of the FAQ document, which I'll talk about in just a second. We have ready to go social media templates that we're going to be updating every single week. So you can be talking to your consumers that you are participating in this. There's places in those ready to go social media templates for your store logo, and they're fully customizable, but also ready to go in many different formats. So for LinkedIn, for Facebook, for Instagram, different sizes, different templates, all ready to go, available to you, so that you can be communicating to your consumers about this program and why you chose to participate in it and how it's going. We've got multiple training videos available in that digital asset kit, including a recording of a training like we're doing just here today. In addition, we have digital copies of all of the things that are got in print form. So if you want to print more bounce backs, if you want to print more sell sheets, but you don't want to wait for an order to come because you need them kind of right now, you have digital copies of all those things. You have build instructions for your collection vessel. You have promotional videos that is shareable if you want to share it to your social media or website. So lots and lots of digital assets ready for you to go to make this as successful for you as possible. We also, on the PSC website, we have a participating retailer map that we have been distributing to all of our PSC members, but also the public, so that consumers can go in and search by zip code to find a local participating retailer in this program. So we've got, for example, Royal Canin, that is doing a lot of social media targeted to people in the Pacific Northwest to let them know that if you are a Royal Canin consumer and you want to bring Royal Canin's packaging back, here's a list of stores that is searchable by zip code that their consumers can go to, which is really, really exciting. We're doing 5 of these training sessions, and they're all going to be recorded and available in that digital asset kit. But we also have ongoing support. As I mentioned, we're going to be updating you on a weekly basis of how is it going, how many pounds are we got, how many retailers are participating, things of that nature. And then there's a really exciting exciting incentive program that's being worked. Right now, some of the things that we're talking about include that the top participating retailers get to choose the rescues that all of the materials that, the 5,000 pounds of materials that get turned into products. Our top participating retailers then get to be part of choosing the shelters that those go to, and there's going to be other incentives that are added as well. So there's lots and lots of support that we can think of to help you be as successful as possible in this program. Through that, in that line of thought, I want to draw attention to a document that is part of your digital asset kit, which is our pilot program FAQs document. So an entire team between Earth Animal, the Pet Sustainability Coalition, and pet food experts got together and developed this document to come up with an answer to basically any question we could possibly anticipate. Now we know more questions are going to come up, but this is not only for you from a retailer perspective, but trying to anticipate the questions that you as a retailer are going to get from your consumers. It's a really, really robust document. Some of the questions, it's only about half of the questions you can see are listed here on the left. So everything from background is to why are we doing this program? Why are we participating? What happens next? What happens to these bags? To how does it work? How are we measuring effectiveness? Things of that nature. So the strong suggestion is going to be that you print up a copy of this and have it by the register. So if your employees have any questions that they're not 100% sure of the answer to from your consumers, that you've got this document right there that we can scan it real quick and answer their questions. Also, how to contact the Pet Sustainability Coalition is directly on this sheet as well. So you can be passing on that information to your consumers so that if they have a question that you don't know the answer to, or that your employee doesn't know the answer to, they can get directly in contact with us to ask them. So this is a really, really robust document, really aimed to help you be as successful as possible. So once again, the strong suggestion is going to be to have a copy of this handy for both your employees and your consumers as well. Getting into the nitty-gritty of ordering, as I mentioned, every single thing in your asset kit and your activation kit is available for reorder. So if you need a new collection vessel, if somebody dumps a mop of water on it and it gets ruined, for example, or if you need new stickers for your window, or more sell sheets, or more bounce backs, everything of the that you get in that initial kit is available for reorder, excuse me. Once again, through the generosity of Earth Animal, this is going to be free of charge. So in your activation kit, both in physical form and digital form, you have a copy of a PFX sell sheet with all of these different items and SKU numbers, and you can just place this in your regular delivery or your regular ordering process, and they will just come in your next regular delivery. So if you need anything at all, whether that's from a new collection to new stickers to sell sheets to anything, you can reorder any of those products at any time and get them in a very, very quick turnaround. So how do you opt into the program? I think everybody on the call has already opted in, or you would not have gotten an invitation to this training, but say you're talking to other stores in your network and they want to know how to opt in. The link to do that is right here. It's also available to you through your PFX local sales team. And the delivery of the activation kits begins today. So the way that a store would opt into the program is you just go to this form, fill in some basic information about your address, number of stores, things of that nature, PFX store number, and then the internal team here at PSC then verifies that any store that signs up through this link is actually eligible. And then if you are eligible, you get opted into the process and get sent some welcome information, inviting you to this training, inviting you to the digital asset kit and the eligible retailer map. And then as soon as you fill out that form, your next week's delivery will have that full activation kit. Those are going to come once a week. So for example, if you opt in on a Thursday, whatever your regular delivery schedule is the next week. So if you regularly get your deliveries on a Tuesday, if you opted on Thursday, then it would come, the activation kit would come as part of your regular delivery the next week. So we've gone over a lot of information today. So I want to stop, I want to pause, I want to invite anyone on the call. I'll open up the chat box, but also please feel free to just come off of mute. Do you have any questions, or is everything clear? Are you excited about the program? What questions can we answer for you? Does anybody have any questions? If not, that's okay. I don't want to put anybody on the spot because, as I mentioned, we're available moving forward. Got a question from Patty. Patty, thank you so much for joining us for training and Flex Forward. It says, yes, excited. What did you say about cat litter bags? That's a really, really great question. So Patty, right now, and you'll find this information in the FAQ document as well, right now we are not accepting cat litter bags in the program. And that's because a lot of those bags, because there isn't a standard industry makeup for those bags, contain either layers of metal or layers of paper, which would kind of mess up the recycling process. And so right now, consumers don't tend to know what their bags are made out of, and we don't want to put that burden on you as a retailer or you on your consumers to know the exact makeup of your bag. So for simplicity's sake, right now we're not accepting cat litter bags as part of the program, but it does, that is something we're looking at to look into for phase 2. So thank you for that question. Another question then, does this include shrink wrap? So right now, this does not include shrink wrap, simply because, as we mentioned, your plastic bags that you take back to your Mega Mart or shopping store, for example, are all made out of the same kind of plastic, and shrink wrap is the same way. There's already very well established recycling streams for shrink wrap that I know that PFX participates in, and so we're not including that because we already know how to recycle that stuff, basically. So if you do have a lot of shrink wrap that you're looking to recycle and you don't know how to do that, I'm going to strongly suggest you reach out to your PFX sales team, or you can reach out directly to us at Pet Sustainability Coalition, and we will help you find a recycling stream for that shrink wrap. But shrink wrap is very recyclable, so thank you for that question. Any other questions on the call today? Thanks so much for the questions we've had so far. All right, well, if no one else has any questions, that's totally fine. As I mentioned, we are here to support you at every step of this journey. We're just so grateful to our program sponsors, specifically Earth Animal, but also our program partner, Pet Food Experts, for helping facilitate this. But none of this, not a single bit of it, would be possible without you, our participating retailers. So thank you so much. We hope you're excited. We hope this is going to be hugely successful for you and your consumers and your pet parents, and we're here to help you at every step of the way. So please drop us an email at this info@petsustainability.org if you have any questions, but also just let us know how you're doing. If you've got any social media posts of consumers bringing back packaging, or you're finding that your pet parents are really excited about this process, we really hope that you will share that with us, and we'd love to highlight you. We'd love to highlight your consumers, and just are really excited to be a partner with you every step of the way. So once again, thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we're just really excited about Flex Forward and to be working with you to build a more sustainable pet industry. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your afternoon.